Hi there. Welcome to Discussions with the Fascia Masters. My name is Deanna Hansen. I'm the founder of Fluid Isometrics and Block Therapy, and we are here with the incredible Dr. Marlene Siegel. Now, just a little background. Both Dr. Siegel and I are on the Holistic Leadership Council, and this was where we met. So when she started understanding fascia decompression and what my work was about on humans, she reached out to me because she was very excited to create something with me that we could apply to our fur family. So, Dr. Siegel, I can't even express the gratitude I have toward you for reaching out to me so we could create this partnership. Delivering something for animals has always been in my heart to do, but I needed the right person to do it with. And you are absolutely that amazing person. So before I jump into chat with you, I'm going to read your bio because there's so much in here and the world just needs to know how absolutely spectacular you are. So Dr. Marlene Siegel is a pioneer in the field of integrative medicine for over 20 years and has been practicing veterinary medicine for over 40 years. She is a respected author, international lecturer, researcher for integrative veterinary technologies, and a clinical practitioner. She has special expertise in ozone therapy, photodynamic therapy, and detoxification. Her veterinary hospital has the widest array of alternative therapies in the world. Dr. Siegel's focus is on bioregulatory medicine, identifying the root cause of diseases and establishing safe and effective solutions. As a problem solver, she has developed online courses for pet parents to learn how to integrate a holistic lifestyle and therapies for their fur babies. Additionally, Dr. Siegel offers online courses for veterinarians who want to integrate these services into their mainstream practices. She also developed her own raw food and essential supplements company and is preparing to launch SPAWS Family Wellness Center. Did I pronounce that correctly?
SPAWS.
Of course. So funny. Which are detox centers for the pets and their human parents. So, okay, I just made myself look hilarious, but that was awesome. Spas. You think I could have figured that out when I was reading it, right? Spas. Oh my gosh. So anyway, clearly, I mean, I feel like you've lived 50 lifetimes with all that you've done. Honestly, like absolutely incredible. So let's dive in a little bit as to why we're here together from your perspective.
So there's a lot of things out in the world. There's tons of information on the internet. There's Dr. Google, and everybody has an opinion about what makes health. But at the end of the day, what makes health is us learning how the body works and being able to support the body and stop doing the things that are harming the body. And that's as simple as it gets. And what my forte has been was wanting to dive down that deep rabbit hole of moving away from symptom suppression, which is what the typical health model for people and animals is. You have a headache, you take an aspirin if you're a human. If an animal has an ache or a pain, they get a nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory, and then they're sent home. But nowhere in that model are we learning how to put together a true health plan or some kind of a regenerative health plan if you already have a problem. And so I think that was my forte, is being able to look at the whole picture. And that's what holistic medicine is. Most people think holistic medicine means it's woo-woo. No, it means you're looking at the whole body. You're looking at body, mind, and spirit. And you're saying, how does this entire entity, this organism that has all these parts to it, how do we put it together and have the best life possible? And so that's my passion. And I knew I was missing a piece when I learned about lymphatic therapy. And that was a big game changer in my detoxification protocol. But when I met you, I knew that that was the linchpin that honestly ties everything together, because everything goes through the fascia. So it was like this aha moment when I was doing your starter program, when I realized this is the base, this is the foundation. Now we need all the parts, but this one is what really, when we understand how to support the fascia, which means proper nutrition, proper detoxification, proper movement, proper breathing, all of those elements that create life, then we can really start to help the body do what it innately knows how to do, and that's to live well.
And that's why I was so excited when you reached out to me, because, once we had our first meeting and I really got to know you, I was so incredibly impressed with your scope, your open mind. I mean, everything. Like you really have the knowledge of all of the disciplines, and you're taking the best of all of the things and you've put it together so that, I mean, animals need surgery just like sometimes humans do. Sometimes they need, pain medications, but there's so many other things that we can do. And I just love your approach to everything. So why don't we talk a little bit about what we actually created in our program so people really can have a deeper understanding if they want to dive in and be able to utilize this work.
So we created several modules that help the pet parent to learn how to actually support their pet's fascia. And the coolest part is it requires no tools, your hands. And Deanna and I worked every week on Zoom because at that time she couldn't leave Canada. And we did animal after animal after animal. And as Deanna studied the movement and the things that she could see in the body of the animal, she would create the release. And then I was the one physically doing it. And we watched miracles. I'm going to say it was a miracle for me because I think Deanna already knew what she was going to see. And for me, I saw transformations that I couldn't even begin to imagine were possible. And now I recognize things that I used to dismiss. Now I pay attention to movement and body position and how the spine is aligned, and radiographically, everything that Deanna has taught me to recognize in how the movement shows, I can support that radiographically and with thermography as well.
Wow. And I mean, I just have to share, like, when Dr. Siegel shares with me the changes and she'll send me the pictures, the absolute joy that she is sharing, because now these animals are getting out of pain, they're getting their mobility back, their health back. I mean, it truly, this is a hard mission for you. And that was why, again, it was so fun to work with you, because it wasn't just like, let's get the job done. It was like, look at the changes that we're making. And I mean, obviously, if your pet is healthy, that's going to make a difference to the entire family. Like nobody wants to see their pet struggle with pain. So it was so cool. So not only do we have the different protocols, I think we have 5 different protocols that we actually use, 5 different techniques. And we also had 5 different size. We use dogs because I used to be allergic to cats. I don't think I am anymore, but at the time I was. So we use dogs as our main, subject. But really, we can apply this work to any animal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when we did the program, we demonstrated what we were doing on a variety of sizes. And so we show you how to do moves on a 5-pound Chihuahua all the way up to a 120-pound German Shepherd. So as you go through the course, you are able to learn and adapt to your pet how to get the fascial releases. And it's not hard. It's really something that helps you to bond with your animal, and you know that you're supporting them. Look, you can only go to the vet so many times a week. So the support that the fascia needs, it needs you at home with your pet being able to, whether it's a daily or weekly or however often you have time, to be able to intentionally touch your pet so that you're helping them to go back into that state of thriving, not just surviving.
We also teach you how to really understand where those cause sites are. Like I teach people in the body, there's cause sites to the issue. So, if your pet is limping, where is the actual reason for that limp? Of course, the limb will be part of the equation, but there's going to be a whole bunch of other areas of the body that need to be addressed. So we bring your attention to those things so that you can also see the changes along the way, maybe in their gait, in how their fur patterns are, where they might have compression. Like sometimes you can almost see it looks like there's a belt around them because the fascia's pulled everything in so tightly. And then thinking inside, okay, if this is where the organs are and there's this tension, how is that affecting their digestion, their elimination, the ability for detoxification? So all of these things are discussed as well, which just gives you more than just the practical way to address the pain, but also an understanding and an ability to see the changes with your own eyes so that you actually know you're making those changes.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I'm going to share one story that is not in the course because it happened afterwards. And it was a little dog that came to me who was walking in the shape of an L for 6 weeks. He had tried to jump on the bed, he didn't make it. And then, literally within hours, he'd start to walk straight, and then his whole rear end would come over to the side. And he would move forward in the shape of an L. And when he finally came up, I treated him. I took x-rays. Of course, I did my full workup. I did a chiropractic adjustment, and then I did the fascia decompression. And within minutes, you can see the improvement. Within 6 hours, this poor dog who had not walked straight in 6 weeks was walking perfectly normal and never had a relapse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, you just blew me away one more time with another incredible story. And that's the thing, like, people have ego. So if we've been limping for 20 years because we've had hip pain, and then suddenly you have a treatment and the pain is gone, your brain still is kind of in that, like, I'm a little tentative to walk on this leg. Where what I really saw and appreciated with the animals, as soon as we created the change, they just used their body in this new way without, I mean, like, it was just different. And it was faster. It was so
Yeah.
cool. The incredible, they felt like miracles to me too, because I mean, that story is incredible.
So on your side, most of your audience has already done block therapy, and now we're bringing in the pets. But on my side, it's the pets, and now I'm introducing block therapy for the parents. And it's so interesting that they see what's happening to their pet, and they go, "Can I do that for me?" And then, of course, I introduce them to block therapy. So between Deanna and myself, we are truly transforming people's lives through the pets on my end. And now with her, we're now incorporating who we love the most, is unconditional love that we have for our pets. Of course, we want to do the best for them. And this is something that we can be empowered in our own homes with no equipment, just our hands, our love, and our intention to help these animals do so much better. And remember, that fascia gets restricted for the similar reasons that it does for us: age, trauma, gravity, surgeries, injuries, and anything that causes inflammation and toxicity. So now you're able to really, in a very powerful way, have a tool in your toolbox to help your pet start to thrive.
And really, it comes down to, like, if I'm correct in saying this, Dr. Siegel, if I'm a stressed mess, so would then my pet be,
Yes.
because they're feeling that. So to be able to do the work on yourself as well as for your pet, that's going to come back in exponential transformations for both.
Yes. I do block almost every day on myself. And I think it's important for all of us to walk our talk, because if you aren't taking care of your body, it's hard to appreciate how much better you feel. But my pet parents, because they're doing it on the pet and then they start doing it on themselves, they start to get a better appreciation that, wow, what I'm doing is really making a significant difference. And I can feel it in my own body when I do the work on myself. And at the end of the day, as we feel better as humans, as we help our animals feel better, we make better choices, we have happiness, we are spreading better, higher quality energy, and we're helping Mother Earth. So it's not just what we're doing in our own little bubble. We are really impacting a huge audience. The better we take care of ourselves and we model that, we help others. And, sometimes you don't even realize how important one little thing that you model may affect somebody else's life in such a dramatic way. So I'm grateful and so excited to bring all of this work, the block therapy for people and the fascia decompression for the pets, into a worldwide forum.
Amazing. And now, as you mentioned, of course, the majority of my community are already doing block therapy, or at least the sampler program. But one of the additional benefits that you get with this program is you do get that sampler program, because we just want to make it super simple for you to dive in right away and really connect to the understanding of proper diaphragmatic breathing. That's really the foundational piece of what we're all about. Our fascia system limits our ability to breathe fully and completely. So by releasing the adhesions and the scar tissue throughout the body, we gain deeper access to this phenomenal muscle that when we breathe consciously, we literally are a different physiological animal. And then Dr. Siegel, you have also added in another gift. So if you could share what that's all about as well, please.
So for me, it's helping pet parents to realize that we have tools. Fascia decompression is a tool, but we also have to create a lifestyle for that tool to work in. So I have a free PDF that all the pet parents can go and download, and it's the 6 steps to healing. So step number 1, we got to stop doing the things that are causing the problems. So we got to learn what is a species appropriate diet, what is structured water, what are the cleaning products and the things that we're breathing and touching our skin that we can choose differently so they're less toxic. How can we mitigate the amount of electromagnetic frequencies and pollution that we're exposed to? And then how can we think without the ants in our brain, the automatic negative thoughts? And when we start to be able to shift how we think, we go into higher vibration, which our pets are trained to, and everybody around you and trains to. So you do a really good thing. So step number 1 is I teach you in the PDF how to stop doing the things that are causing the problem. I know it sounds like rocket science, and in our modern world, so many people want to continue doing exactly what they're doing that got them where they're at. They don't want to make any changes, but they want a pill for an ill and a diet for the disease. Doesn't work that way. So we really have to make some lifestyle choices and changes if we're going to expect a different outcome. Einstein said insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, he's absolutely true. He also said that you can't solve problems with the same mindset that created them. So we have been sold on fast, cheap, and convenient. And it's time for us to shed that old belief. I call it a belief system, BS. And when we change the BS story, we go into a story that is going to actually support us. Step number 2 in the PDF is being able to supply the essential nutrients. Those are the nutrients that the body cannot make in sufficient quantity on its own. We know our food is nutrient depleted. We have to have these nutrients for our body to function properly. Step number 3, we heal the leaky gut, just like it has to be healed in people. And then number 4 is the detoxification of the 6 organs of elimination, which I now include fascia in the lymph and fascia. I put them together. And then number 5 is mitochondrial health. And number 6 is releasing trapped emotions. So that PDF is available for free for you guys to be able to use that as, call it a benchmark, a roadmap, or something to follow so that you can pick one thing to start doing that you should be doing and stop doing one thing that is harmful. And then after a week or 2, pick something new and then get rid of something else that's not supportive. And just keep making those changes one by one until you really have transformed your life and the life of your pets.
And I love that you put the lymph and the fascia together, because to me, it's like that's the traffic. You know, if you have little traffic on the road, you have really well-made roads, and you're driving a very nice, efficient car that doesn't have a lot of waste, there's ease of flow with traffic. Now, put yourself in the middle of Los Angeles at, rush hour, if it's not rush hour all the time there, and there's a very different experience in the flow of the traffic. So when we have that congestion in our body, that, traffic jam, we're not healthy. So the fact that you put those together, I mean, like they're married anyway. So I love that you did that. So
Yeah.
Dr. Siegel, we're about to wrap up here. So there's always more that people can do.
Yes.
Can you please share a little bit more about your other program in case people are interested in learning this?
I have a program called the Empowered Pet Parent Course. And this is a very deep dive into those 6 steps, along with the proper type of diagnostic testing that should be done for looking for deficiencies and toxicities and mitochondrial dysfunction, and then a lot of different tips and tools for detoxification. We really walk you through how to do that life transformation. And it's inexpensive, it's easy to do. You just pick one thing to start and one thing to stop, and you keep making that progress. And before you know it, you really have transformed your life, your pet's life, and the lives of those people that you're touching, because you're going to be talking about it. And people are going to look at your animal and go, wow, they're so different. They look so much better. You healed X, Y, and Z. How did you do that? And you can help so many other people. It's sort of like, we start out as a ripple, And then that ripple becomes a wave, and the wave becomes a tide. And then eventually, what we want to do is have a tsunami. We want to have a tsunami of health for ourselves, for our pets, and for Mother Earth.
Amazing. Dr. Siegel, thank you so very much for, first of all, asking me to join forces with you, and just for always giving your heart, your love, your intention, your beautiful mind to the world so that we can all move forward in a beautiful place. So thank you all for listening, and have a wonderful day.